Hey everybody, welcome to the socaldramtram. It's your boy Caesar.
And I'm Matt, and today we got another review for you. But before we get to this bottle, if you're new here, we just want to say, go ahead, click that subscribe button. Don't forget to click the little bell so you know when we drop a new video. And if you're returning, hey, we appreciate you sticking around. Caesar, what do we got today?
Today we got a GlenDronach Baloney. This ain't no phony. GlenDronach Batch 8 Cask Strength. So, GlenDronach Batch number 8 Cask Strength.
I'm excited.
I'm very excited. I know it's aged at least 10 years in ex Oloroso sherry and Pedro Jimenez casks.
Pedro Jimenez.
It is also bottled at cask strength, non-chill filtered, like they did before the 20th century. So folks, we're taking a blast from the past. You can thank your mass.
I know where you wanted to go. That's the sad part. I appreciate you censoring yourself. So you said cask strength. This guy is at 61% ABV. So fun fact about this bottle, because it's unique and we share the same total wine. I was there one day and I was just looking around, seeing what I could find, and I was looking at GlenDronach because I keep looking for the Portwood. I keep debating if I want to buy it, and they didn't have any, but behind the 12-year was this little guy, and I was like, oh my God, that's a cask strength in stores. And I picked it up, and I grabbed it, and I'm like, all right, I got myself a batch 8. That's going to be awesome. And then I'm like, I'm going to pop open the tube, just take a look. Pop open the tube, take it out, and I was like, man, the cork, the little bits was like all sorts of in the bottle, right? And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. So I put it back. So then Caesar calls me about a day later, and he's like, guess what I picked up at Total Wine, dude? And I'm like, I bet I can guess. I'm like, GlenDronach Batch 8. And he's like, aw. So that's my fun story about this bottle. Nonetheless, kick it.
Yeah, no, it's great stuff. And I was, of course, the neck pour, just like anything, especially anything cask strength, is going to be, a little bit unique of a flavor. And it was. And I was like,
More potent than anything.
Unique meaning potent. And I let time go by a little bit, and folks, oh my God, if you're a sherry head, oh my God, this is so good, right down your alley, right down the GlenDronach alley. So if you like anything GlenDronach style,
it's right next to the Smackdown Hotel on Jabroni Lane.
Smackdown on Jabron, you guys heard it first.
I think it's fair to say, and we're going to get into our coins here in a second, but I think it's fair to say that we're GlenDronach fans. I mean, we've done the 12-year review. You can check that out up here. And in addition to that, we've also done the 18-year Allardyce, or as Caesar likes to say, Poltergeist.
Hey, Poltergeist.
So that's right up here. You can check those out.
Scary good. That's why I call it the Poltergeist.
Those bottles are exceptional. I mean, GlenDronach 12 is my everyday drinker. If I could have one scotch from the rest of my life,
that's right here.
That guy.
Literally right there.
And then the Allardyce is probably my favorite whiskey I've ever had. And it's just exceptional. And this guy is no different. I'm really excited about it. I had a chance to sample this thanks to a friend of ours back in March. And
thanks, Alex.
Definitely love it. And but it's been a minute since we had it, and so I'm excited to get another sampling of this.
And when we did have it, I think that was like a neck pour, more like
it was definitely a neck pour,
because I was like, that tastes different than where I'm at right now.
Yeah, it was definitely a neck pour, and we had also been drinking pretty heavily.
A lot of pizza, a lot of drinks, a lot of wrestling. Hey, virtual WWE. Thanks for the entertainment.
It wasn't even wrestling. That was a different day. I'm thinking of the day that we interviewed for Wyoming.
Oh, yeah, we did have a sample before.
This is where Matt and Caesar play the Remember game, and you just get to be a part of it. But nonetheless, guys, before we dive into this guy, we do have some coins. And today I'm actually going to be using my patron coin for the Whiskey Tribe. This is pretty sweet. If you guys don't know who Whiskey Tribe is.
Super sweet coin. Look at that.
If you guys don't know who the Whiskey Tribe is, what are you doing? How are you following us and not the Whiskey Tribe? Check out Daniel and Rex at the Whiskey Vault and the Whiskey Tribe. And you should definitely do it, because then you could get a coin that says something pretty sweet on the back. I'm not going to reveal it because it's a secret. But guess what? You guys are already in the know. You know what it says. It says Magnificent Bastard. Ooh. That's right. That's me. He don't have one because he ain't a Patreon. Hey, but anyway,
I'm not magnificent, but I am a bastard. Hey. So for my coaster coin, I got Last Drop, Thanks for the Cop. And for my topper coin, I got my second round Bourbon Junkies. Hey. Because I'm a junkie and I love bourbon. I
had forgotten. God, man, I love GlenDronach so much.
Oh, man.
That sherry jumps right out of the glass.
Oh, for sure. But
I mean, it's 61%. It does not nose like it.
Oh,
like,
not at
all.
Not at all. I definitely get some sandalwood and that fresh oak. For me, I get definitely some oak because it's fresh out of the barrel. So you get that fresh oak, but I get some sandalwood out of the nose as well.
You said this is aged for at least how long? 10 years?
10 years, yeah.
Man, that is good. I mean, it's GlenDronach, so it's going to be sherried, but at 61%, you just get so much more out of it. You get a little bit of, like, chocolate-covered cherries. I know I'm kind of skipping past the nose, but, man, I've already taken a sip, and I'm like, what about the nose? Screw that. I want the palate. Man, this thing is rich. This thing is flavorful. It just coats the mouth. The finish is still going, and for me, like I said, those chocolate covered cherries are jumping out. You get like the stewed fruits that are typical in GlenDronachs. You get a little bit of that oak. But interestingly enough, I don't get this enough in sherried whiskeys, but like things like the Allardyce or the Teapot Dram, I get it. Plums. When I get plums in a scotch, I'm just blown away, because it just reminds me of like when I was a kid, my dad had a plum tree, and going out there like, in the middle of the harvest and just kind of taking a look at it and then just grabbing one and having a fresh plum off the branch. It's so good.
Nice.
So good. I accept that. I'm one of the weird kids that I like plums, but they're so good and they're so rich, and it just really reminds me a lot of this whiskey. And it's just delicious, man. At 61%, I know that this thing is going to laugh off water, but man, it's so good. What are you getting out of it?
So to be honest, yeah, that sherry flavor just breaks through like there's no tomorrow. And the crazy thing to me is the sherry flavor I get is a signature GlenDronach sherry. Like, for those of you at home that know GlenDronach, that try a lot of GlenDronach, like, you'll know what I'm talking about. GlenDronach has a specific way of bringing out a sherry flavor to where you know it's their stuff. Like for I guess an example for me at home, like, the way I know my mom brought home food to warm up for my grandma's versus her rewarming up her cooked food herself, is because my grandma always cooked with a bunch of lard. So every time I taste
all the best stuff.
No, it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's distinctly, my brain is triggered to know where that came from. So when I ate this, I'd be like, oh, that came from my grandma, not you. Oh, that came from my grandma, not you. So you get trained to know where these flavors come from. For me, with the sherry flavor specifically, I got trained to know where the GlenDronach comes from. So that 12-year, the 15, the 18-year this, I could distinctly taste, okay, that type of sherry flavor is coming from GlenDronach because of the way they do it. So this right here, folks, this sherry flavor, of course there's a lot of sherry flavor, but this sherry flavor to me is in the ballpark range of the 18-year of the GlenDronach. And for those of you at home that are like, well, if this is sherry and that's sherry, what are you talking about? Well, how about this? Why don't you go to a mom and pop diner, burger diner, and get a steak, a ribeye steak, right? You're gonna get it for $12-13, and it's gonna be decent, maybe. Or you can go to a steakhouse, get this $100 ribeye steak. Even though they're both ribeyes and they're both cooked at the exact same way, you get that higher quality with this place versus this place. Same with the sherry. Oh, this can have sherry, this can have sherry, this can have sherry. But if you take good care of it and have great respect for the liquid in it, then yeah, for sure, you're gonna get some great quality sherry coming out of it where oh, this is that high quality steakhouse 55 sherry flavor I'm getting out of it. And for you to get that distinct difference, folks, you guys have to try a bunch of sherries. But once you do, this is definitely the mother load.
How much did this cost?
This cost
I want to say it's like 90, right?
Yeah, $100 I was gonna say.
Yeah, 90 to $100 for a cask strength GlenDronach. God, man, it's tough to beat.
Because it's in the ballpark of the 18-year, which is 130,
135 to 150.
Yeah, and this is ballpark sherry quality flavor as the 18 year.
So here's what I'll say between the 18 and the cask strength batch 8, right? So it's a little unfair because the 18, like I said, it's probably my favorite whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
The 18 is, I'm going to try to look at it objectively, and maybe we do a comparison just to kind of see. But the 18 is so much more rich because of that single cask. I don't know if this is a single cask. It looks like it's a maturation.
I don't think it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is Pedro Jimenez and Oloroso sherry. I think that the Allardyce is strictly Oloroso.
Yeah.
So you get so much more of that richness from the Oloroso sherry, but this one is just because of that higher proof, the flavor profile that this is bringing is that much more heightened. Whereas that one's kind of deep and rich and like just flavorful. This one is flavorful, but it's just more punchy, and not in a bad way. Like it's just heightened.
Not at all. No. Of course. So, which is why I say ballpark, folks, because it's like, I mean, it's the best you can get for it being cask strength. Because the other one's not cask strength, because they can dilute it a little bit, do whatever they want, simmer it down, have a little bit more flavor. Of course, it's gonna, punch a little bit more with flavor. But as far as it being cask strength, you're gonna get this barrel, pop a hole in it, drain it out. It is an amazing sherry finish for it being straight out, non-chill filtered, non-filtered at all, because it's straight from the cask. Really good.
I think someone may correct me in the comments, but I think GlenDronach as a whole doesn't chill filter, because I know if it's under 46, there's like margin for error in terms of like if it is or if it isn't.
Yeah.
I know the 12 is 43%. The 15 and the 18 are both 46, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think they chill filter, period. But again, I could be wrong on that. But like I said, they're for the most part, they're in the sherry game. Like they have the 8-year Highland, I think, and that one is like pretty much a bourbon cask, but it's really good as well. I keep meaning to replace a bottle of that. But what I will say, interesting note on the finish that I'm getting on this. So I added water. I added about 5 drops. Caesar's been talking for a minute. This is how you know a bottle's good, folks. Like when Caesar and I can both go toe to toe on the talking game in terms of like what this bottle is giving, that's when you kind of know that the bottle's really giving you some bang for your buck.
Sure.
And again, 61%, they're giving you a lot of bang for your buck. But interesting note on the finish that I'm getting with water. I'm curious to see if you get it. Grilled onions. I swear to God, dude, grilled onions with water on this. It's reminding me of like a double In-N-Out animal style with those grilled onions right now. But man, it is just so flavorful. This is so good. I'm kind of regretting.
Bro, not grilled onions, but you know what I got?
I thought he was gonna stab me, folks.
I got sauteed mushrooms.
Okay,
I feel like that's close.
Like a vegetation.
Yeah. That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get anywhere near that without water, but with water, I get that grilled onion.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if it's just the burntness of it, and maybe that's just the high proof.
However, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna take a Tums or 2 after this, because with that cask strength, like obviously the last sip was a couple minutes ago, but you feel that burn coming down. And not to say it's bad, because it's cask strength. So what else are you expecting? But the flavor for that burn is actually pretty decent. So
I know that
it's like if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna enjoy while doing it. So it's like it's kind of like the perfect explanation.
I know for bourbon it's called a Kentucky hug. I don't know if there's like a Scotland snug or something, but like that's what I'm getting right now. Just all through my chest and my stomach. It's just like
the
copyright Caesar Mac.
The Scotland snug. I love it. That's so good, bro. That's so good. That is so good.
Kentucky hug, Scotland snug.
Oh my God. Yes. This is the Scotland snug. Tell you what, Mike.
Yeah. So look, I could probably go on for a while on the flavors on this, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap mine up. And
yeah, I was gonna say
$90, 61%, GlenDronach. So I'm in the bag for it. I've heard tale that other batches of their cask strength series is better, but this is what we got. This is what we've got to compare, because we ain't got nothing to compare it to. Actually, that's not entirely true. I don't have a batch strength, but I do have a independent bottling. I'm going to give this... I got to give it a 4. Like, it's a big bang for your buck. 61% ABV. It's got a crazy flavor profile. It's absolutely delicious. It doesn't drink like 61%. I would say it drinks more like high 50s, 55 to 58. And
yeah, a little bit spicier.
This is something where if somebody was like, hey, they come and they look at my bar and they're like, hey, I really want to try something that's not going to kick my ass, but I want to have some kind of deep flavors. This is something I would pour for them, because I think if they don't dig it neat, I could put a little bit of water or even maybe a rock. For those of you that don't know what that is, that's an ice cube. And it would kind of neuter the flavors for them for a little bit just from the high ABV. And this is something that they could really appreciate. Again, not that I'm going to put a rock on it, but I think this is something that if somebody's curious about cask strength, like, oh, what is that? This is something you could pour and they might enjoy it for sure. Because again, it does have a lot more flavors to offer. So I'm giving it a 4. I think for the value for the bottle, it's awesome.
So for me, GlenDronach Batch 8 is something I surely don't hate or discriminate. As far as rate goes, I'll give it a 4 because it's really good to where I'd put it behind locked doors. And I wish I could drink it every day like it was a chore. And yeah, so I'm gonna go with 4 because I would place it very well. The alcohol percentage is really strong. The sherry note is through the roof, but very smooth and very its own independent thing, which is good because they make sherry really well. It's like going to, like, well, what's that ice cream place, Foster's, or that, is it Foster's? The ice cream place?
Give me more. What are you going for?
I think
Cold
it's called
Stone?
Foster's.
Foster's?
Is it Foster's?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The place that's connected with like Wiener.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Foster's. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Foster's. So it's like getting vanilla from regular and getting vanilla from Foster's.
I'm like, Foster's.
You know Foster's is going to be a little bit better. Like, oh, yeah, they're both vanilla. No. Sherry, you want to go for sherry? GlenDronach does sherry beautifully. So 4 for me.
It's 4 from Caesar and it's a 4 from me. Real quick though about your rhyme, it really did nice job, but I'm really surprised that you didn't go with the Tony the Tiger. It's great. Because batch 8.
Hey,
that's all I got.
I was coming up with it on the spot, and to be honest, I was surprised. I was like, all right, that was cool enough.
For coming up with it on the spot, that sure was a lot.
Not the please don't cop.
Nonetheless, guys, hey, you know what? 4 from Caesar, 4 from me. We appreciate you guys sticking around. We know this review is going a little long, but hey, we're having fun with it. We hope you guys are having fun too. Again, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's somewhere around my chest area here. Be sure to check out some other videos, but more importantly, leave some comments down below. We want to know if you guys have had GlenDronach. What GlenDronach do you like? What GlenDronach do you want to see us review? Also, be sure to check us out on the socials at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at socaldramtram. That's all I got for you. You got anything else you want to add, Caesar?
Now, what about you, brother?
All aboard! Catch you next time. Hey, everybody. Hope you liked that video.
Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications.
And don't forget to subscribe.